Today's project is called pattern paper piecing, and it's a way of quilting a design into the fabric using paper. And as long as you can sew on a straight line, you can do this. So let me show you how. Today I am making a Santa Claus quilt block. So let's get started. This project is actually wonderful for using scraps because all you're doing is covering these little pieces right here. So get into your scrap bins and use up all your scraps. It can range from super tiny to bigger pieces. So just get in there, grab all your scraps. We're gonna use them for this project. Definitely gonna want your iron next to you because if not, you're gonna be getting up and up and up over and over again. So just make sure your iron is next to you. That way it makes it super simple. And as you can see, it's labeled F1, F2, F3, F4. You're going to go in the order of your pattern. So this starts with F1 and that is white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fabric on the back of the paper, wrong sides together. So the wrong side of the fabric is going to be touching the wrong side of the paper. And then that is going to be number 1. But now we need to make number 2. That is this color. So it needs to be big enough to cover that spot right there. But the tricky part is you have to sew it in a way that it's going to flip over. So I like to put it up to the light. Your fabric will be right sides touching. I put it up to the light like this, just to make sure that it covers the line about 1/4 inch, just like that. And then I'm going to sew it along the line right here. And then I'm gonna show you what's next. So I have it 1/4 inch over the line, and I'm going to sew it on line number 2. And all you have to do is make sure that your needle goes down right where it starts. You're gonna back stitch at the beginning and the end, just like that. And then you are going to be left with all this extra fabric that you do not need. So I fold my paper down to where it's stitched. And then I'm going to cut my fabric about 1/4 inch above that stitch line. Fold that back up. And then we can fold our fabric up. And this is where we're gonna iron. But notice how there's no raw edges or anything on the front. This is right sides together. So this is how you're gonna get that clean quilt block on the back of it. The wrong sides are touching that paper. So now I'm gonna take it to my iron right here, and I'm just going to iron that down. And that's our first little spot. And now we need to do F3, which is right here. So I need a piece that is going to cover that, but we're gonna turn it around. Make sure our fabric is right sides touching. I like to hold it up to the light. If you had a light box or whatever that's called, that would be super helpful. I just haven't justified it yet because I've only done this a couple times in my life. If I was to do this more often, I would definitely invest in that light box. But just like that, it's about 1/4 inch over that line, right sides together. I'm going to put that under my presser foot right here, and I'm going to stitch along that line between 2 and 3. Okay, just like that, that line is stitched. And now I'm gonna take it to the back, fold my paper down to my stitch line, and I'm going to trim this to 1/4 inch above my stitches, and then fold it up just like that. Now you have your different pieces all coming together. Take it to my iron and iron that seam down. And that's looking like that. So now I'm going to do the same thing for the last one. Here's that quilt block we were just working on finished. It is completely clean on the back side. That's all the right side. The wrong sides are sewed to the paper, and I just trim the extra around. And all the pieces are done like this. So I almost finished almost all the pieces of this quilt block. And then when all these pieces are done, we go and we sew them right sides together, and it makes the perfect block. So I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna bring you back. I'm finally done with it. You guys, this was a lot of work, but look how cute he is. Oh my gosh. absolutely love it. I don't know if I want to make it a pillow, make it a picture frame, or turn it into something else. I'm not sure. I still have to take the paper off. I'm just gonna wet the back a little bit and carefully take the paper off the backing. But this is what it comes out looking like. Look how stinking adorable he is. That is just the cutest little thing ever. And it's all sewn together. So when you go to quilt it, you can quilt on top of it, but technically it's already quilted. It is so precious. Look at him. He's so cute. I really, really like how this turned out. This is actually massive. It's so much bigger than I thought it was gonna turn out, but I'm thinking a pillow or I'm thinking a picture frame. I'm not sure. Let me know.